Hello everyone, Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a very happy, joyful, peaceful Christmas and New Year, and I'm here today to make a start on my first video of 2026, and I thought I would show you what I've done. So I did this yesterday, I made this yesterday. So this is, what I'm going to do is I've made a journal, or I've put the bare bones together for a journal. And this is, I'm going to use this for Lydia of Raindrop Lila, her challenge, her January challenge lists. I haven't got the list here with me. I do need to find it, but the actual I think the first one was to clear the desk, the second one was to gather materials, and then the third day was to put together the journal, or the bare bones, as I said, of a journal. Just gather your papers and your whatever you're going to use as your cover. And so that's what I did yesterday, is I made this cover. This is from, what's it from? An envelope, no, a paper bag that I then covered in, and in between the paper bag I added bubble wrap. So between the two pieces of paper, I sandwiched some bubble wrap in between, and then I added brown paper over the top, and then I added these inside, these book pages, and then I added this, which was something that I worked on last year, I think early last year would have been, during mixed media video. There will be a video of me actually doing this, I think they will. So it's on card, and so I took the edges off, and then I added brown paper and tissue paper underneath, and then this on top. And I'm going to do something with the back, I think, but I'm not sure what yet. So yeah, I'm happy with it so far. It's lovely to feel. It's quite sturdy, chunky. I really like it. And I've put together some papers. I haven't put them in yet. There are no digitals in here. However, Lydia does have some kits, recommends some kits to start with if you're going to do this project. So have a look at Lydia's most recent videos, and she will explain and tell you which kits she is using. So I will probably use some of Lydia's kits because it's her idea, and I like to support Lydia, and she does beautiful kits, and I often buy her kits, so I will be buying one of her kits and using it in here, but I'm just not sure which one. In fact, I have a few already, so I may well use what I have. I just need to print them out. So this for me will be a winter journal for January. I might go on and use it beyond January, but for now it's going to be the January challenge journal. And yeah, just thought I would take you along with me. So I'm not going to, ordinarily the next stage of this would be to sew my pages in. I'm only going to have one signature, and I would usually put the pages in, but I think it's quite stiff actually. Well, there are quite a number of pages, but yeah, that's stiffer than I thought it was going to be. So that's going to be a bit tough to get through, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter at this stage. The main thing I wanted to do at this stage is just go through the pages with you. And so I'm using up pages that, as you can see, I like the colour of this. This was taken from a magazine. I'll be covering this up. this, I probably will cover that up, or some of it at least. And then I've got some coffee dyed paper there. I've got some pattern paper, I think, or something like that. I've got a bag here. I might open that up and make a pocket out of it, paper bag. Some old jelly prints of mine, and this is construction paper from Hobbycraft. Magazine page, grid page, and another jelly print. An old vintage envelope, vintage book page, more construction paper, some writing paper, that's vintage as well. Book page there, or a colouring book page rather, which I think I quite like. That's newsprint, vintage book page. This was an experiment that I did about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And it's basically tissue paper that I covered in glue, and I made this sort of white glue with water, sort of creating this quite nice paper to use in different projects. And I'd put this away, and so I could, I didn't realise I still had it. So yeah, so there's that, and then more tea dyed or coffee dyed paper there. Some tracing paper, some matte book. This is writing paper on an envelope, and this is a vintage book. Actually, it's antique. Some of this. I don't know what that is. I think it might be computer or something paper, old. And then a piece of construction paper there, or cartridge rather, quite thick. Maybe I might think about that one and just do this one to begin with. Now this is from, I don't know, printing or something. I think it was mono print. Now with this one, I think I will use this and put it across there like that, just to make it interesting. Or like that. Yeah, I think I'll put that there, in fact. So I'll glue that on. Got my glue board here. Now, obviously, we haven't got the, you can make a start on, I guess, on the different challenges. I mean, I might do that as well. The first challenge to make something is resolutions, and I haven't made any resolutions, so I have to think about that one. Quite often I say that instead of resolution, I would probably consider intentions instead, but I often feel resolution, it makes you feel, if you don't do them, you make these resolutions and then you don't do them, it sets you up for a sense of failure. So depending on your mindset at the time, and I don't want to pressurise myself in that way. And if you're joining in with me, then hang on a minute, I've done that upside down. Does it matter? Is that like that? No, it was the other way around, wasn't it? Quite like it like that. I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, so that's that page. And then I can do something on here. I think that's quite interesting, but I can maybe add something along there. That's my boiler, don't be alarmed. Okay, so could, I guess, put that there as a pocket. That's quite a nice pocket there. It's a shame to cover up that star though, isn't it? That star there, I like that. Yeah, can't decide on that, so I'm going to leave that. Oh, you're going to do something with this. This will be a pocket, so now it will need strengthening because it's quite a thin paper bag. So let me think about this. Oops, let me just pop it back in and see how. Yeah, I'm going to open it up. So I'll do that with you guys here. I can't find my other scissors at the moment. Oh, I think I know where they are. I took some sewing with me because I went south for Christmas. I went to my daughter's. My sister drove us there. She came with me too. We had intended to stay north because north because we both had surgery. And but in the end we decided to go. Okay, so I'm going to reinforce that there. Let me just move that out of the way. So as I was saying, yeah, I had felt something wasn't right. Don't want that colour. I think I just, oh, hold on. No. See if there's any scrap like this rather than that piece. So yeah, I felt something wasn't right. I wasn't feeling too well with you know, with nausea, and I wasn't eating, and I realised something wasn't right. And then I started to get pain in my right hand side lower stomach, and then I realised that is the area that your appendix is, and so I thought, well, this could be serious. So I was a bit silly, and I waited until the next day or two to go to see my GP. I could have rung 111, which is our emergency. Sort of, you know, we would ring that generally before we'd go to A&E, accident emergency in the UK. I did not want to go to accident emergency because you sit there for hours and hours, and yeah, they're under pressure and quite often mistakes made. And that's not me trying to be controversial in any way, but also, you know, there was doctor strike. I can't remember if that was at the time, but I knew it was around that time. So yeah, I decided to wait until the following morning and go straight to my GP, which I did. And he sent me straight to hospital. He said, you know, you've got appendicitis, so I believe you have, and you need to go to the hospital immediately because it is classed as a medical emergency in case it bursts. So that's what I did. I went straight to the hospital. I dropped Rudy off, my little doggy, with my sister and niece, and I went straight to the hospital. And the hospital that I went to, my sister had just come out the day before because she'd been in for surgery for a hernia. So it was so strange. It just felt so strange. She was at home recovering from an operation, and I went into the same unit with a medical, you know, surgery, to have medical emergency surgery. So yeah, so they took me down. They did all the tests and confirmed and then I had an infection, so I had to go on antibiotics. And then so I'm going to glue that so I don't bleed. And I think actually I'm going to just cut the side, because otherwise if it rips it's harder then to control. So I'll just cut the side there and I'll glue that on just to reinforce. So yeah, so that's how it all happened basically. It was all very fast, and I asked to go home the day after surgery, and they let me go home with, I had to give myself injections, just these little injections for, you know, in case of DVT, deep vein thrombosis, because you have to, obviously, I had wounds from the surgery, so I had to rest for a little while. And yeah, so that's what happened. And prior to that, as I said, I wasn't, you might have realised that from my message, that I wasn't well prior to that either. So it was sort of, oh my goodness, you know, this isn't good. I'm just going to put a bit glue. No, Rudy, on your bed, good boy. Rudy needs to, according to him, he needs to be by my side 24/7. It's just the way he is at the moment. And I have to try and, you know, I mean, I do find it frustrating, but he is still a puppy and he is still new to me in a way. So he, you know, he's obviously a bit anxious and he wants to be next to you all the time. But I've got his bed behind me. He's got a little space on the window ledge, because I've got one of those very low window ledges, very tall windows, like the old Victorian, Edwardian, I can't, windows in my, this room. And so yeah, it just felt like a challenge, that's all. So I wasn't getting much done. I did actually do a couple of videos before I went into hospital, and I just didn't get round to showing them. My hand and wrist still isn't properly healed, and so I'm intending to have that looked at again, because I'm often in pain with it, and it goes into spasm very easily, very quickly, and then, you know, it's really, really painful, and it's almost like cramp, you know, where, is this the right way? I think so. When you have cramp and you can't do anything with it, you know, you try to move it in a certain way and it won't do what you want it to do. That's what it's like. So it is quite painful when it does that. All right. So obviously I'm not rushing anything. I'm just, you know, I'm chatting to you, and I'm at the same time just, you know, doing what I've got to do. To hopefully make this work. The little pocket, quite a big pocket actually. I don't mind it being a bit scruffy. All of this, you know, is a junk journal by proper definition. There's no digital, so even if there were, I wouldn't mind. And I will be putting something in digital wise. But you know, I'm using up scraps, and I'm just really intending to make this as simple as possible. Something not right there. Now, what I think I might do is I don't want it to be fancy, but this has got nice little reindeers on or something. So that's okay. So I'm going to put that there and then fold it over. And I'm faffing about. This is totally unnecessary. I'm just faffing. But, you know, it's just getting back into the swing of things. And hopefully... I'm going to have to do that. This is tricky. There we go. That looks much better. I'm going to do it on the other side. I can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I can see that, you know, where it's landing on the paper, if you know what I mean. Okay, let me just take that off a minute, put it on again. Hopefully it will have enough sticky left on it. So yeah, I've been really wanting to get back on, but at the same time burnt out. So I'm hoping that this will help me get back into video making, and I think I need it, because if I don't, then I fear that I won't make any more videos. You know, I will just give up. Right, okay, so that is nice and strong now. It's a good sized pocket and it will hold lots of nice things, so that's great. So I'm really happy with that. The other side I'll give some attention to later, but at least I've shared this with you, so you've seen what I've done with it. Now I'm trying to think where it was. Was it there? I think it was further on. Now I don't know where it was. Doesn't matter. Shall I put it here? There we go. Okay. Just a couple of little things done like this. That would be a really nice piece. And I like what's written on there as well, in your own time. I'm going to take that off. But then I want to rip. I might have that hanging over somewhere. No, I was just thinking sort of like as a writing space, and then yeah, I think I'm going to rip it. And then I don't mind if that, I can use that somewhere else. So I do, but I do really like that. So I'm going to put that somewhere. Sometimes I just want something, you know, on the page. To break the ice, if you know what I mean. Like that. No, I think I'm going to put it like that. No, I think I'm gonna put it where there. I like it there. So let's do that. And we're just creating more interest on the pages. So what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, just about getting back into it. And I'm sorry I haven't been around, and I hope you're all doing well. I'm sure you've had lots of things to do yourselves over the holiday period. You know, maybe not watching as many videos anyway. And there are lots of other YouTubers doing this sort of thing. So it's not like you would have missed me that much. Right, now, I do like that, so I will use that somewhere. I quite like it on that, just to break it up, because that's a bit much. It's like a huge block of colour, so I might use that there, but then also quite like the idea of putting some words in there or something. Okay, so now what else did I have to tell you? Trying to think. Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, you saw my can't get my words out, sorry. Got lots of envelopes here, but I've already put 2 envelopes in, so I don't think I'll be using mine. Let's look and see if there's anything interesting here that I want to use. I don't, like I said, I'm not too interested in using, got calendula on that bag. Why would I have calendula on there? I quite like that. Or maybe a smaller piece. Right, anyway. Trying to think if there's anything to tell you. Pretty sure there will be, but no, nothing too. No, I think these are all digitals. Well, that's not digital, but I'll use that for something else, I think. So, not really. Potentially that, depending on what's on it. Ooh. I like that. That is UK watercolour brushes. It's from a package, so I could use that as maybe a top spot or something. There was something I was going to tell you and I can't remember what it was. And it's a bit frustrating because I'm trying to think and do at the same time, and that doesn't go well with me, with my brain. Just, so I hope you all had a very lovely Christmas. I've already said that, haven't I? Look at that, isn't that lovely? I made these a while ago, but that means I'm already setting things up, so I think I'll leave these for a minute because I don't want to start decorating. I just want to add pockets and hooks and things like that, and just add bits of interest. So let's maybe add this in as a tuck somewhere. It's really nice, that would make a lovely bookmark. See, I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I'm just messing about a little bit here. I've got this piece of, this would make interesting sort of the colour. Oh, I think that goes lovely there. I could add that on. I could make, but I like it like that, so I think I'm going to add it to there. Try and think which way to add it though. That would be good, actually, and more sturdy. So, oh, I could add it so it flips up. How about that? Yeah, I'm going to add it so it flips up. So I need something, I need to add something onto it. Do I want it to flip up? I just really like the edge, you know, and I think it would be a shame to lose that in some way. I could cut it down and have it as a, yeah, I think I'm going to cut it down a little bit, or rip it down, and have it as a top. Sorry, you can't see that. Yeah, let's do that. I like that there, because when you turn that page, when you see it like that, you can see it there like that. That's interesting to me. Okay. So Rudy has been fine. When we went south, he was a little bit out of sorts with just confusion, I think, but we did have two other dogs, my daughter's dog and my sister's dog, so I think that also didn't help his behaviour. He was a bit, like I said, out of sorts, and it was sometimes a little bit difficult to manage, particularly because I was still quite vulnerable at that point, you know, from surgery. So, but he was fine. He's doing his best, bless him. There we go. Right, and that'll make a nice tuck. And also it's interesting colour. Oops. That will now stain. It won't come out, I don't think, but it's okay. Alright, so we've got that. So let's see how many pockets we've got. So from there I can add other pockets if necessary. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll be adding more pockets. So I like these jaggedy bits, but I do think they need to be glued down because they'll just fall off, and then what's the point, you know. Yeah, it just helps them. There's still some loose, but not, you know, hanging off in that way. Right, so let's see what pockets we have. I've got a little tuck there. I might glue that there, although I tend not to. I'll leave it open for now. Really don't like this page. I mean, who would? But I love that it says Womankind there and Photographer's Award. Oh! Ah, okay, so it's not, I thought it was actually an actual sale, but it's not. It's an art piece. But anyway, I'm not going to use, I don't want that page in there though, so like that. So I'm going to cover it up, I think. I can always cover something. Oh, what about that? That's interesting. Maybe that could be a tip in. Let's see, is there anything else? You know, bearing in mind, do I want, I mean, that could look quite nice just as a white piece of paper, or that. This is lovely. I love this. Well, we've got a pocket there, and then I've just added, and then I've added this. Just a couple more then. I did actually make a start on a pocket. Let me just see if I've still got it on here. Yeah, no, that's not it. Where is it? Where is it? I really like that. But that wasn't it. It was like part of an envelope, and I'd covered it in paper. No, I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, there it is. I covered it in paper because I didn't like the white, but then I don't know, should that be a floating pocket, or it's quite wide actually. I might need to cut that down back a bit, but it does give us a blank space to work on, so I think I'll cut the end off, and then I will, to make it more fit better, and then I will add it to a page, not that one. What about that? I really don't like that. That really, I just find it unpleasant to look at. Right, I'm still looking for this. What about there? No, there. There. How about there? Yeah, I'm tempted to put it there. Okay, let's do that then. So I'll glue that down, and then, as I said, I can decorate the front when I come to actually decorating, rather than, you know, trying to be all decorative right now. So don't want to use this one. It's a very gloopy glue. I don't like Pritt stick It's just too gloopy for me. It's all right maybe for fabric, but this is, I use this all the time. It's from a cheapie, it's a cheapie one. It's actually £1, believe it or not. And so some people would say, well, that's too cheap, but I use it all the time, and I haven't had any problems with it. But you do have to sort of warm it up a little bit when you haven't, you know, it sort of needs a bit of warming up when you first use it. But I haven't, it's strong. It's as strong as any of the others, is what I found anyway. Like I said, it's £1 from Asda, which is a supermarket in the UK. Not sure who owns the Asda supermarket, but now I think I'm not going to leave that open. I'm going to close it. So I'll use. What about if I decorate it a little bit with this? Because I love this, and if I put that along there, then that closes it. Hopefully, if I can find the end. Oh, it's nice and sticky. Oh, you Billy. You silly Billy. There. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. Go back to the drawing board. Still trying to think if I've got anything to tell you, and I know I have, but I can't think what it is. So are you doing any challenges? Are you going to do this one? So with Raindrop Lila? Have a look. I mean, I like the vagueness of the challenge. I do try to do challenges, but I never stick to them, never. So, you know, join in if you like, but obviously don't rely on me because I'm very unreliable when it comes to challenges. That's what I needed to be able to put things in, so I'll stick that on there. Hopefully that will stick, and if it doesn't, then I'm going to have to use some washi just to finish it off. So yeah, so I was in the south for New Year, and for Christmas, I mean, and we had a lovely time. A very lovely time with the grandchildren, and my son and my daughter-in-law came over for the day. No, it wasn't Boxing Day. It was a bit later in the week. We stayed for a good 5 days. Didn't do very much, you know. We took dogs out for a walk and things, but yeah, not a lot. We didn't do very much, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to leave that like that. Just fold it over. It doesn't matter that it goes over the edge. Yeah. So, no, actually I don't like it, so I'm going to cut it off there. Good. Right, so I like that tape. I think that's really nice. So yeah, I asked if you were doing any. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I started watching Stranger Things. I haven't watched it. I think I watched maybe in the past. I've watched a little bit, but yeah, I like that there. So we've got tuck. I've got an actual pocket that needs decorating a bit more. It's a bit scruffy. And pocket there. Yeah, we haven't got many pockets at all actually. Got that as a pocket. We've got envelope. So we've got an envelope here. That's nice big wide envelope, so I'm happy with that. Oh dear. Oh no, don't give him the minute you give him eye contact he jumps down. Right, this. I won't do that now. But as you can see, this is a nice pocket there, or tuck. Oh, I did that yesterday. It can be folded either way, that way or that way, but it was meant to be a little extension, and there's a little thing there. I think we should reinforce that, so let's do that. What shall I use? That would work, but I want something else, something more interesting. Maybe. Oh, where's that black? I had a nice piece of the black card. I could use that. It's very thick, that. It's very, it feels almost like it's a double piece. I think it's double, you know, is it? Or am I just pulling it apart? I'm just pulling it apart, but that's strong enough there. So I'm going to put it there. So, I'll just fold that out like this and glue it. Being careful not to go over the edge. Yes, I started watching Stranger Things. I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying not to binge watch because, you know, when I do that, I can go on for hours and hours and hours. And obviously you don't get anything else done. Just rip that off. Whoops. There we go. And fold it up. And then we've got a nice little pocket. There. A tuck. And I think I will glue that down to strengthen it more. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. So I'm, you know, assuming I'm carrying on, you know, making videos, and I'm trying to come up with ideas for some nice things to do, projects and what have you know, just things that we can get stuck into in the new year. Both on the sewing front and also journaling. Who knows? But yeah, I'd like to do that. Right now, I think I really like that. It's just a shame. I could put it like that. We haven't, the problem is that we haven't got many pockets. Oh, how about that? There. And it doesn't have to be a pocket. And then of course we've got this page. Now I don't have to keep that just because it's the same as, you know, it's part of that. I could do something with it, but I think I'll keep it. And I'll probably collage on it or something. Yeah, I think so. Right, I think I'm done, but I did want to come on just to say hello and do a little bit with you, and I've probably been on long enough. Let me just check. 54 minutes, that's a long time. So I'm going to leave it here. If I do anything else, I will show you. I quite like this, and I was thinking I could put that somewhere. So I'll think about that, but you know, I don't want to start doing the challenges quite yet. I want to carry on just messing about really for a little bit. I'm going to leave that stuck down there, so I think I'll glue that while I'm here, while you're here, just because it gives me more space to put things in there. Envelopes can be tricky when they're part of the, you know, because you need space to get your hand in and get the things in. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here, guys. It's been on long enough, and I just wanted to show you really and just do a couple of little bits, but I hope it's inspiring you to do your own. I really love the cover. Cover's my favourite bit, to be honest. I love it. And it reminds me that I really enjoyed doing collage and mixed media. You know, there's a lot going on in this, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to do a lot more this year. That's my that's my resolution. Let's use that as my resolution. It will be more mixed media, and then in that case, that's the next thing I will do in here will be mixed media. See how easy it is. Anyway, I can't think of anything else to tell you at this point. I'm a bit fuddled. My brain is fuddled. Did I just make that word up? I think I did, but it is fuddled. So I am going to defuddle my brain, and hopefully when I see you next, in fact, I will try and do one tomorrow to try and do the although yeah, I will do a video doing the mixed media. That's what I'm going to do to add into this. So anyway, so that will be my resolution one. So that and I will print out Lydia's list. So as far as I'm aware today, the challenge is resolutions. So join me. I would love you to join me. And yeah, thank you for all your lovely messages. Thank you for all of your support last year. It means a lot to me, and all your comments all over the year, bothering to write to me and bothering to comment and say, Rudy, come here, to make lovely comments. Shall I show you Rudy? Shall I? You going to say hello, Rudy? You going to say hello? This is Rudy. Can you see him? There he is. Rudy, come here. There you are. Look. Isn't he gorgeous? He's beautiful. I love his paws. Have a look at his paws. Look at those. Aren't they adorable? Big, wide paws for digging. Anyway. Okay then. Well, thank you. As I said, I appreciate you all. You're amazing. And all the best and many blessings for 2026. Take care. Bye for now.